Having too many clients can actually be dangerous for your consulting business. Just imagine for a moment that you've spent years working really hard to build your business, and you're now at a point where you're feeling stressed, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling you've reached capacity, you're being pulled in different directions, you're spinning your wheels, and the business that you worked so hard to build, you're not actually enjoying it as much as you used to. The energy is being sucked out of the room or sucked out of your day-to-day. I had a conversation actually very similar to this not too long ago. We were at one of our mastermind events. It was actually in Arizona, and one of our clients who's built a successful business, she said to me, I'm at this point in my business right now where I'm just not enjoying it as I used to. What should I do? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what you should do in the situation where you feel like you've reached capacity, you have too many clients, you have too much going on, your day-to-day is just hectic, it's chaotic, it's not a joy anymore, it's not exciting, it's not giving you energy, it's almost taking energy to run your business. This is not financial or legal advice. I'll make that disclaimer. You need to make your own decisions. And I'll say that this happens usually when you're quite successful. This is not a feeling that people typically have when they're just getting started. So if you're starting to feel that, if what I'm sharing right now resonates with you, I'm going to give you several steps and things to think about, actions to take, things to look into that can help you to not only overcome, but to actually use that experience to make your consulting business significantly stronger and more effective. The first thing that you need to do is just take a deep breath. Right? And I know you might feel like right now you don't have that time, that if you take a half day and step away from your computer, the world is going to explode. It's not. Okay. Your clients can survive without you. I know you might think that they need you. They don't. And what I mean by that is they're not going to go out of business if you are off the map for half a day or even a full day. Just communicate to them that you're going to be away on a certain day and let them know that you'll get back to them the following day or on Monday or whatever it is. Now, why is that important? It's important because you need time to think. If you are so busy in the day-to-day that you're just doing the work, right? You're working in the business, then you don't have time to think about working on the business. If you're spending all of your time on the tactical, it means you're not going to have time for the strategic. And what grows the business or helps you to get greater perspective, and especially what is going to be important for you to think about based on what I'm going to share with you, can't be done when you are in a frenzy. So take time, number one, and carve that out, because you're going to want to give yourself the opportunity to really think through how to navigate, how to transition, how to shift, how to make better decisions for your business. All right, let's get to the second thing that you need to be looking at, and that is a project and client audit. The decisions that you've made to this point in your business have gotten you to where you are. And if that's in a good place, congratulations. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it's your doing. Just accept it. Now you want to think about what you need to adjust so that you do not continue to see the same results or outcomes that you've been seeing. You want to think about and get very clear on, what does success look like? What is the outcome that you want? What do you want to change? So write those things down, define that very clearly, because then you can and should reverse engineer that. And we'll talk more about some of these steps more kind of tactically, if you will, so that you know what you need to do to create the new result that you want. Because if you just keep doing the same thing that you've been doing to get to the point that you are today in your business, you're going to continue to see the same results over and over again. So this is not about just trying harder or working more hours. In fact, I will say that some of the most successful people that I know, they might work more hours if they choose to, but they don't need to, meaning that they've built systems and they're spending their time in the areas where they've created the highest value. They don't feel always overwhelmed and chaotic and stressed. That is a sign that something is broken, something is off. That is a sign that decisions that you have made, or in some cases decisions that you have not made, are really holding you back from creating higher level growth and an opportunity and potential. Okay, let's zoom in here. So project and client audit. You want to look at the profitability of all your different clients. You want to identify what gives you energy and what takes away energy in what you're doing. Likewise, you want to think about which clients give you energy and that you really enjoy working with, and which clients suck your energy and suck the blood out of you, that every time you're with them, you wish that you weren't. You want to look at how much time you're spending with certain clients or on certain projects, and what are you getting paid for that? What are you earning, right? That helps you to see what the profitability is. You want to really look at which projects are you creating the biggest and best outcomes and creating the most value for your clients, and what projects have you taken on that somehow you took on, but they're really not aligned with your expertise, or they're not aligned with where you're achieving the highest levels of profitability, or they're not aligned with your future vision of where you want the business to be. Look for things like scope creep. Look for things that are draining the profitability out of projects, or draining your team's energy or your energy. Flag those things, identify them, and then start to work on them. Okay. Next, You want to look at what we'll call resource management, things like your pricing structure. You want to identify, are there things right now that you are doing or not doing that from a structural perspective inside of your business or your model are holding you back? And I'll give you hopefully a very simple, easy to illustrate, easy to understand example. Let's say that right now you are charging an average of $50,000 per project and you're maxed out. You have more clients than you can handle. There's more demand and you're just so busy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, folks, here's a very simple solution. Again, the disclaimer, this is not legal or financial advice, but I'll just say from my experience and from working with hundreds and hundreds of consultants and business owners personally, and 1,000+ through our programs, the simplest solution is generally just to increase your fees. So if you've been charging $50,000 and you're finding that you're packed, then increase your fees. Charge $75,000, $85,000, $95,000, $100,000. Keep increasing your fees until you reach a point where you start to see a lot more resistance to people saying yes. And if they're saying yes, keep increasing your fees until they, again, start saying no, or they need some time to think about it. If you're not doing that, you're likely leaving hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars on the table. So you want to look at your project and pricing structures. You want to look at how you are billing. You want to look at your model. You want to also identify where you are spending time. I've talked about this in other videos on the channel here. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, hit that little bell, whatever it is thing that will notify you. Not only does it help us because we have more subscribers, it means that YouTube will show us to more people. It kind of makes me excited to see that we're growing the channel. So thank you to everyone that has subscribed, but also it's great for you because you get notified. So we both win. So here, one of the most important things if you want to get out of the feeling of overwhelmed, stressed, you're feeling like you don't have the energy and excitement that you did before. And this is actually back to the consulting business owner I mentioned in the mastermind event. What we figured out very quickly in a conversation at the mastermind was that she was spending time on things that she does not enjoy. Well, no wonder you're going to feel overwhelmed, and no wonder you're going to feel like the energy being sucked out of you if you're doing things that you don't enjoy doing. So identify those things and stop doing them, right? Delegate. Get that to other people. Get better systems and processes in place so that you can spend your time doing things that you enjoy and doing the things where you create the most value. All right, so pricing, delegation, and look at systems and so forth that you can make sure that you're not spending time on things that you shouldn't be. Let's talk about a few other opportunities here for you. So as I said, raise your rates for new projects. Another thing, variation of that, is to implement a minimum project size. We had a client who doing about $800,000 a year, and we did an audit of their business and very quickly found that the vast majority of their revenue was coming from larger clients. They had much higher numbers of low value clients, smaller businesses that were less profitable for them, yet they were trying to win the business from everybody the same. What we then helped them to institute was a minimum project size. And so they were still able to talk to smaller companies, but those smaller companies needed to understand that there was a starting point where they engaged. I had the founder of Caxi, another consulting firm, come on the podcast, and he shared that at the time of recording, their minimum project size was $50,000. That's kind of where they begin, right? It doesn't make sense for everybody. For them, it does. So it establishes a very clear starting point. It's like, if that doesn't work for you, you're not a fit for us. It's not like you're bad, we're good. It's just, this is where we begin working. What that'll help you to do is to keep away those that are not a fit for you and for your model and bring in the right people. That'll help increase your revenue, increase your profitability. And for most consulting businesses, they should be focused on value, not volume, meaning that you should not try and win hundreds of clients. You should be able to achieve your revenue and income goals with, 10, 20, 30, 40 clients maximum. Most established consulting firms earning millions and millions and millions, even tens of millions of dollars, do not need 100 clients. They can achieve what they want with 30 or 40 clients and be making tens of millions of dollars, right? So think about ways to increase value, not increase volume. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, again, coming back to what I said, delegation, part of that though as well is then make sure you have somebody on your team that is managing the projects, because project management by itself is a whole position. If you're trying to manage projects, deliver projects, market, sell, like if you're doing everything yourself, well, of course, you're going to feel overwhelmed and stretched. That's a sign that you need to be extracting yourself for more things. So having good project manager or project management system in place, or both those, can be very, very helpful. Let's talk about one more area here, which is all around client communication and setting up your projects for success. The most common reasons of why people end up feeling like they're doing too much is because they are. And if we go deeper into that, what's happening is that you're not setting clear expectations in your projects up front with clients. And so they end up asking for more and more, and you get little scope creep after little scope creep, and it turns into much bigger scope creep. And now all of a sudden you're doing a lot more work than you budgeted for and a lot more work than you planned for. And so your resource allocation, meaning of how you are spending your time or how your team is spending their time, is not balanced because you have a lot of variables or new additions that were not planned for. That's not fair to your team. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to your clients, because ultimately, if you're stretched thin, you're not going to be doing your best work. For you to do your best work, you need to be focused. So clear expectations, managing scope creep up front, having those kinds of conversations and being clear. I will tell you that if you say yes to everything that clients ask you, you might think that you're doing them a favor and that they love you, but the reality is they're not going to respect you, because they're going to view you as a commodity. They're going to view you as, yeah, I can run all over this person. I can just ask for anything I want and get it. And generally that backfires. Clients respect people who they view as experts. And an expert is not just going to say, sure, I can do whatever you want anytime. They're going to set very clear boundaries of how things are done. And they will say to a client, hey, I'm happy to explore that with you, but let's work through what we've planned here first. Or I can give you a proposal of what that would look like, because that's not part of our initial project. Or let's finish this first, because I really want to be focused and ensure that we deliver a great result for you in this area, and then we can look at that area next. That level of communication, that signaling right to a buyer, to a client, they respect that because they know that you have a process, you have a policy, you stick to things. Really, really important. I'll offer you another thought here, which is if you have bad clients, get rid of them. Life is too short to work with people that you do not enjoy, especially if you're at a place where you have some income revenue coming in, things are in a good place. Do not take on and do not keep clients that you don't enjoy working with. It's not worth it. And I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of clients personally. I've coached hundreds of clients personally. We've had thousands of clients in our programs. I have never, ever heard somebody say, I feel so good about keeping this client that I absolutely hated working with because they paid me a bunch of money. I've never heard that. What I have heard multiple times over the years is, I know I had to give up a bunch of revenue on this, but I'm so glad that I did because I feel free. It's a weight off of my shoulders. I hear that all the time. All right, so these are just a few ways for you to think about how to get out of the position where you feel overwhelmed, you have too many clients, to make some strategic decisions and shifts in your business so that you can start really living up to your full potential, so that you can start earning significantly more without feeling stressed or feeling anxious or feeling run down, and getting you back to a place of being an energized and focused and excited consulting business owner. If you want help with building out a plan around your specific situation, if you want to look at your capacity and how to increase it and how to scale and grow your consulting business more efficiently, more effectively, using proven methods and approaches that have worked for over 1,000 consultants, then get in touch. There'll be a link below this video, or you can go to consultingsuccess.com/grow. When you go there, you can just fill in a little bit of information about yourself, schedule a call, and we'll chat with you about where you're at, where you want to go, what adjustments you can make, what the opportunities are, what you should maybe stop doing right now that could save you a lot of money and get you refocused. Life is too short to try and build a business all by yourself, making a whole bunch of mistakes. The reality is that right now, today, this very moment, as you are listening to this or watching this, you might be sitting on massive opportunity to grow your business, but you don't see it because you're so busy working in your business. This is why the most successful people in every industry always surround themselves with other mentors, coaches, external, outside perspectives to help them to see, to help them to take action, to help them to make better decisions. And so if you'd like just to have that initial conversation to explore what that might look like for you, then get in touch. Again, click on the link below this video or go to consultingsuccess.com/grow, and we look forward to chatting with you.